Welcome students. This is the second part of the blood transfusion service chapter. I myself Dr. Part-2 Roy, Faculty of Hospital Management of Subhas Bose Institute of Hotel Management. Now our second blood product is packed cells, or packed red cells, that is the concentrated RBC. The packed red cells, actually these are the cells that are spun down and concentrated by a centrifuge. Actually 1 unit of packed cell is approximately 330 ml of blood and has a hematocrit value of 50 to 70%. Actually these cone RBC and packed cells, there is a special storage mechanism. These are stored in SAG-M, that is saline, S adenine, A, G glucose, and M for mannitol. This solution is used to store the packed cell. Why this solution is used? Actually this solution increases the shelf life of the packed cell. And remember, the packed cell must be stored between 2 to 6 degree centigrade of temperature. Actually, an important point in this aspect, that remember we told in whole blood point that the whole blood may contain infection from the donor's body, because it is not screened. It is only screened for 4 or 5 types of infection, like hepatitis A, hepatitis B, HIV, syphilis, like that. The same thing is implemented in case of packed cell. Packed cell also contains the risk of infection unknowingly transmitted from the donor's blood to the patient. And actually these packed cells are used in case of anemic patients, and also it bears less risk of transfusion hazards. Now what is transfusion hazard? We will describe gradually. Now our third product is fresh frozen plasma. Fresh frozen plasma, actually you know what is plasma? Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. One part is blood corpuscles, that is RBC, WBC and platelets, and another part is plasma. This plasma is rich in coagulation factors. What is this coagulation factor? Coagulation factor helps to clot your blood. If they are not present, you will suffer a disease called hemophilia, where the blood will not be coagulated or clotted and the bleeding will continue. So this plasma contains all the coagulation factors which will help to coagulate the blood. Now when it is used, it is the first line of therapy in the treatment of the disease I have already told you, like hemophilia, where the coagulation mechanism is disturbed. The blood of the patient is not coagulated automatically or not clotted automatically. So in coagulation disorders, we use this fresh frozen plasma which contains all the coagulation factors. Now here you have to remember a very serious phenomena, that is allergic reactions. Many a times we have observed that after transfusion of fresh frozen plasma, acute allergic reaction is very common, and that may be life-threatening to the patient. So you have to keep good control and good observation during the blood transfusion process, which we will discuss later. And the dose should be 15 ml per kg body weight. Suppose a patient has a weight of 70 kg, so 70 into 15 ml, 1015 ml, it will be the dose for the patient. So the 15 ml per kg body weight fresh frozen plasma is transfused. Our fourth blood product is platelet. What is platelet? You all know. Platelet is a blood corpuscle like RBC and WBC, and this platelet usually is required when there are some disorders where the a condition known as thrombocytopenia, that is reduction in the number of circulating platelets, appear. The common disease you all know is dengue shock syndrome or dengue hemorrhagic syndrome. Also Henoch-Schönlein Purpura, a peculiar clinical condition where thrombocytopenia arises, and in these cases platelet transfusion becomes necessary. These platelets are separated from the whole blood by centrifugal procedure, and they are stored in a special agitator and have a shelf life of only 5 days. So you can keep a 1 unit of platelet only for 5 days. You have to use within this time, otherwise it will get expired. Now this platelet I have already told you where we are going to use it in case of thrombocytopenic conditions, where the platelet count becomes very much low, below the critical count, that is 50,000 per cmm of blood. Then we have to use the platelet. But there are some contraindications where you cannot transfuse platelets, where a disease called hypersplenism, where the spleen is enlarged and some clinical symptoms are present there. Idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, this is also a clinical condition. You do not have to know all the signs and symptoms of this because these are the studies of medical science, but you have to know the names. So ITP, the hypersplenism, in these cases we cannot use the platelet transfusion. And what will be the doses? The doses will be 1 unit of platelet concentration per 10 kg body weight. Suppose a person has a weight of 70 kg, so he needs 7 unit of platelet. Clear? So this is the platelet transfusion, and there are some complications arises after platelet transfusion. The common reaction is allergic reaction, also a febrile reaction, that is appearance of fever. So when we will discuss the hazards of blood transfusion, we will discuss in detail what will be the hazards after transfusion and what should we do. So in this video we have learned this blood product transfusion, and in our next video we will discuss the blood group matching and other relevant topics. Thank you.